Hello and welcome to Happy Horror Time. My name is Tim Murdoch.
And my name is Matt Emmert, and we are back reacting to the latest in horror news. And we just are going to jump right into it with today. The trailer for the new I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot just dropped. Now, we haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet, and we really want to hear what you guys think of it. So please let us know in the comments. But because we are reacting to this right before seeing it, Tim, what do you want to see out of this trailer?
I want to see a lot of Freddie Prinze Jr. I want to see Jennifer Love Hewitt and maybe Brandy.
I know. I feel like if Brandy's a surprise, they won't put it in the trailer, but this is what okay, you want to hear what I think is going to be in it and then what I want to be in it?
Yes.
You want the difference, Tim? Mm-hmm. You on the edge of your seat?
Oh my God.
How much? You're like, oh God. Okay.
What's Matt's opinion?
This is what I think. I think we're going to get a lot of the new cast and we're going to have like a few scenes cut in of Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt just to show that they're in it. Like, remember when the Scream 5 trailer came out and they had Sydney with the gun and they were like, it's an honor, even though that part was not connected to Sydney?
I think it will be very teen focused because I think people don't care about, I mean, they do, we obviously care.
We care.
But I mean, 1997 is a long time ago.
So that's why I think the trailer is going to focus more on the accident, the fisherman, with like a couple scenes of the two main characters. That's what I think it's going to be. What I want it to be is like all Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. It's not going to be that. What I'm worried about is, do you remember the Freddie Prinze Jr. quote that he said while filming? And he said specifically, they did a great job with our characters, but we're definitely not the leads. Like, why do you have to do that?
That's a bummer because he's kind of revealing that it's probably about teens fly fishing.
Fly fishing? I think, you know what?
But I mean, what are the odds that another person dresses up in that same raincoat? Yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm all for it and I love it and I'll be there on the first day.
But that's why I think you were just saying, like 1997's been a while. Yes, it has. And they're not talking to people from then anymore. Well, then why even have a fisherman? Like, they could have anyone. That's why I think if you're going to have the nostalgia of the fisherman, it's called I Know What You Did Last Summer. It's going to be an accident and 1 year later, then like, give us what we want. And I want Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I do too. And you know what? I want more accidents and I want more slickers. Yeah, well, anytime I leave the house is an accident.
Oh, but I think anyway, I know that we are reacting before seeing it, and we will be able to come back and tell you what we thought after seeing it. But this is a big one. We're both really looking forward to this movie. And the thing, I did hear the co-writers say that the accident is not exactly what you'd expect, in that, yes, something happens and then 1 year later someone's hunting him down, but I don't think it's going to be like as formulaic as what happened in the first movie. There may be a little twist.
I think the twist is it's a plane crash and they have like one of the teens got their pilot license. I mean, I'm just speculating. I don't know.
That is, wow. I mean...
But tell us what you think.
Yeah. I want to know what you think after seeing the trailer. Tell us if we were even close to being right with our thoughts on it. So another thing that we just heard about was Ready or Not Part 2. We just got some casting news. Really, really exciting casting news. And by the way, the sequel is titled Ready or Not, Here I Come. And they already have Samara Weaving back, and they already announced that Catherine Newton was joining her, but we just found out that Sarah Michelle Gellar, SMG herself, is joining this cast, Tim.
I love that Sarah Michelle Gellar's in it, and Elijah Wood, right?
And Elijah Wood. The thing I think I'm most excited about with Sarah Michelle Gellar, she hasn't done a horror film since 2006's The Return, which means, let's say this film comes out next year, it'll be 20 years since she did a horror film. But you know another thing I saw? First off, Sarah Michelle Gellar with Samara Weaving and Catherine Newton, that's a lot of blonde power.
Was Andie MacDowell in the first one?
Yes.
Okay, that was my big takeaway, because I remember being just a little disappointed because there was like magic in it.
Well, it was
I don't
like
want magic.
It had like a supernatural aspect because the curse, the whole thing was, the whole movie, she's like, you're killing for this curse, which is not true. And then it actually did come true because they didn't kill her, so they all blew up. But Elijah Wood, also, you know who I just saw was Sean Hatosy. Do you remember who that is?
Yes, from, I want to say, The Faculty?
Yes. Well, I want to say you're right.
Thank you. What do I get?
Nothing.
Oh.
So Sean Hatosy was in The Faculty, and Elijah Wood was in The Faculty, so this is a reunion, Tim.
Oh my gosh, I hope they pick up where they left off.
Do you think they're going to hug?
I hope so.
You think they're going to kiss? No.
I hope so.
No. Well, but I'm just excited. Sarah Michelle Gellar is one of my favorite Scream Queens. Not my favorite, but one of my favorites, because for that year when she was in I Know What You Did Last Summer and Scream 2, and then she was in The Grudge, and then The Grudge 2, and then, wait, what else right in that span of a couple years was she in?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Oh, yeah. Yes. That in the show, like, she was everything. She was basically the Jenna Ortega or the Sophie Thatcher of the late 90s, early 2000s. So to see her coming back to horror, I just wanted to do more and more horror.
Me too.
Yeah. Yes, SMG. Okay. Another headline that we just heard was that Ryan Coogler, who just got off a pretty successful run on the movie Sinners, which, by the way, we got to see, and it was a fantastic movie. I mean, like, the music, I want to say the moment, like, the music was incredible. The performances were incredible. It's, the first half isn't quite horror, and then it switches to being like hardcore horror, but it was just a fantastic movie. Anyway, he's more than proven himself as a filmmaker, and he is doing an X-Files reboot.
That's so interesting that he made such an original movie called Sinners, and then he's going into a... Because, I mean, X-Files has been made a couple times, because wasn't there an Amanda Peet one? And then, like, there's been a couple X-Files movies.
There was the main series, which lasted for, like, over a decade. There were 2 movies, and then they had a revival series from 2016 to 2018. But the big news, I agree, it's almost like he's so clever that you would think he'd want to do original material, but I think X-Files, because every episode is a different case, right?
Yes. I mean, like, were you a faithful? You've seen every single X-Files ever?
I didn't. I know. X-Files seems like it's right up our alley. I never watched.
Do you know what my knowledge is of David Duchovny?
He was on Californication.
That and...
He's hot.
Yes, and...
Yes, and? Are we improving?
Yes.
What is this?
No, I think, like... I mean, never mind. I'm not going to bring it up.
No, bring it up.
Okay, I think he was a sex addict.
Oh, was he?
Yes.
You're not talking about his character in Californication.
No, but I think that'd be much more interesting.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Now I'm more intrigued.
I don't know.
Well, but the big news on this, other than that it's going to be from the guy who just directed Sinners, is that he mentioned that he's been kind of talking with getting Gillian Anderson to return. Now, you don't do X-Files without David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson. Even though I wasn't a faithful viewer, I know those are the 2 core elements, those 2 cast members. I don't know why they wouldn't return if they respect him. And yeah.
It's almost the same as I Know What You Did Last Summer with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar. They're bringing up something from the 90s.
You mean and Jennifer Love Hewitt?
And who did I say?
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh, okay. We were just talking about her.
She did.
No, but yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I get my 3-person names mixed up.
It's tough.
Mary Stuart Masterson. Did I just show my age by
James
saying that?
Jude Courtney. Keep going.
Okay. That's all I got.
That's all I got. Anyway, I think, look, I feel like this is the kind of treatment of this series that could get me to go back and watch X-Files from day one. Were you an X-Files fan?
Day one?
Why not? Like, start from the beginning.
That is a lot of television.
Look, I didn't watch one episode of Friends until the pandemic, and then Jacob got me to watch all of it.
X-Files is an hour. Friends is 18 minutes with commercials. There's a difference.
So were you an X-Files person?
I'm not going to lie. I'm not.
You weren't? Oh my God, you hated X. No,
but I love the theme song.
I think that in his hands, get the main cast members back. But this is, for me, the reason why it's different than the I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot. They can have the focus be Gillian Anderson, David Duchovny, because in X-Files, it's about the cases. Yes, the characters are the most important, but meaning it's not like anyone's going to be like, oh, we got to have younger agents. No, the agents can be any age. For some reason, when horror movies do reboots, they always think they need to have like high school or 20-somethings. I don't agree with that, but that's been the formula. But with X-Files, I don't think so.
I want it to be Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez.
You know, he's not so young anymore. So
that's what I'm saying. That's how old I am. I think he's young.
They're in like their 30s. Okay. And then our last piece of news to discuss is they just dropped a teaser trailer for the new movie Weapons, which is by Zach Kreger, who made Barbarian. Now, we all remember Barbarian.
I saw Barbarian 3 times in the theater.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were that big of a Barbarian fan.
I like the twist.
Yeah, it was quite a twist. But anyway, he is doing, and they did this teaser trailer, and it looks so creepy because, first off, I just have to say, so the main story is that 17 kids all ran out of their houses at the same time in the middle of the night, and the only footage they have of it is like almost like ring cam things.
So it takes place today if they have a ring cam, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Anytime you're watching footage like Paranormal Activity from a camera at night, it is creepy as fuck.
I agree. And if I remember correctly, it's at 2:17 a.m., right?
It's good. Yeah, good memory.
Yeah.
It is 2:17 a.m. And anyway, it's just a tease. This movie comes out in August. I am really excited, and I just want to say that my thoughts on this teaser trailer is that I remember the trailers for Barbarian, and what I think based on that is that Barbarian teasers, you thought the whole movie was going to be about a creepy guy waiting in a rental, and then you go to the movie and it completely changes the idea.
It's about a man who buys a ski slope and he's opening it up for winter.
I have a feeling that Weapons, maybe the beginning idea is that all these kids disappeared, but I think something really fucked up is going to happen. And halfway through, we're going to have that whole Barbarian type of twist.
And the cast has Amy Madigan in it from Uncle Buck. Yes.
She was in Uncle Buck?
Yeah.
Wow. See, I was going to say Josh Brolin from Goonies and Julia Garner, one of our favorites from Apartment 7A from, I was about to say Dexter, but not Dexter. What was the drug show? Ozark. And she was also just in Wolfman. So it's like Julia Garner and Josh Brolin I'm in.
What was the prequel she did to Rosemary's Baby? Apartment
7A.
Did you mention that
I
2 seconds ago?
I did.
Okay, my memory's gone.
Tim, your memory's gone. So anyway, we'd love to know what you guys think. Are you excited about Weapons? Did you like Barbarian? Do you think Weapons is going to be as good as Barbarian? How many times can you work Weapons?
Can you tell us what the title Weapons means?
Can Weapons and Barbarian be worked into a sentence together so you're like, I'm using weapons against the Barbarian?
The Barbarian's weapons?
And can they cast Sarah Michelle Gellar in it?
Yes. Ready or not.
Ready or not, Sarah, we're here. No, she's gonna, I'm telling you, this is gonna be the beginning of like a horror, like she's gonna start doing more and more horror. She saw Nev Campbell coming back to Scream and she's like, get me back in those films.
And interesting, we saw Ready or Not 5 years ago. Interesting, yes. I never thought we'd see a sequel.
Really?
I didn't think so.
Okay, so I knew we wouldn't with the original family because they all died, but Samara Weaving, like, she's just so good in it. And it's, remember that Ready or Not does, or is made by, Radio Silence, who did Scream 5 and 6, who did Abigail. They're on a roll. So, like, I'm expecting good things from them. I'm excited about Weapons. I do think it's going to be weird as fuck, but that's part of its charm. And yeah, and other than that, the I Know What You Did Last Summer trailers. That's it for today's, or now the recent horror headlines, and we'll talk with you soon. Bye.
Bye.